Today is Wednesday, December 6th, and we are reading Revelation chapter 5. I'll start our time with a little chapter overview and some of my highlights, and then we'll walk through our 3 questions. Number 1, what does this teach us about Jesus? Number 2, what does it teach us about people? And number 3, what is the next step we might take in response? At the end, I will read the whole chapter aloud and then pray to close. Today's chapter has similar messages to yesterday's chapter, as it takes us once again to the conclusion that, spoiler alert, the Lord is worthy, and He is the only one able to accomplish what He has done. We read John's description of Jesus in verse 6 as the triumphant Lamb at the center of this throne room, still with the appearance of having been slain. Yet he brings loud praise to the mouths of countless beings because no one else was found worthy to do His work, but He is. The elders and creatures all sing a new song with gladness about the Lord's great deeds in verses 9 and 10, which I highlighted, and they read, "You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain, and with your blood you purchased for God persons from every tribe and language and people and nation. You have made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our God, and they will reign on the earth." I also highlighted that every creature in heaven and earth and under the earth and the sea, saying with all that is in them. From verse 13, "To Him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever." With that, let us move on to our questions. Number 1, what does this chapter teach us about Jesus? He is worthy. He is worthy. He is worthy. Not only does Jesus have the ability and the power to do what no one else could, but He actually did it. He single-handedly won the greatest battle and paid the price we could never afford and shares His victory prize with us. What do we learn about people from this chapter? Again, the chapter starts out with John weeping over the fact that before they all looked to Jesus, there was nobody who could open the scroll and carry out God's plan. He's telling us no one is capable of accomplishing God's work without Jesus. I also thought it was interesting that the prayers of God's people are mentioned in this chapter as incense in golden bowls held by those in the throne room, implying that the communication from us is important and pleasing to our God. And of course, we also see in this chapter that all of those present in the throne room are overjoyed that the people have been saved and made co-heirs with Christ. Number 3, what is the next step to take in response to this chapter? My friends, you really need to give Him your attention. Stop trying to fool yourself into thinking you can somehow solve problems all on your own. Look to the Lamb. Start with Jesus, and you'll see why all these voices in this chapter can't help but to sing His praises over and over. If He has saved you, you should already be praising Him constantly, not just at church. Let your life show all those around you that there is a living hope, one who is able to make things right and is worthy of all the glory. I'm going to read this chapter aloud. If you have already read it today, you can skip to the prayer or consider yourself sent. But for the rest of you, this is Revelation chapter 5. "Then I saw in the right hand of Him who sat on the throne a scroll with writing on both sides and sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, 'Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll?' But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside it. I wept and wept because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside. Then one of the elders said to me, 'Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals.' Then I saw a lamb, looking as if it had been slain, standing at the center of the throne, encircled by the 4 living creatures and the elders. The Lamb had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, sent out into all the earth. He went and took the scroll from the right hand of Him who sat on the throne. And when He had taken it, The 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each one had a harp, and they were holding golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of God's people. And they sang a new song, saying, "You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain. And with your blood you purchased for God persons from every tribe and language and people and nation. You have made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our God, and they will reign on the earth." Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels, numbering thousands upon thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000. They encircled the throne, and the living creatures and the elders. In a loud voice they were saying, "Worthy is the Lamb who was slain, to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and glory and honor and praise." Then I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and on the sea and all that is in them, saying, "To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever." The 4 living creatures said, "Amen," and the elders fell down and worshipped. That is Revelation 5. Now I'm going to pray to close our time today. Dear God, we praise you alongside the countless beings we've read about here. We shout your victory, and we are filled with gratitude that you chose to use that great power in you that made the victory possible, and at no small cost for yourself. We thank you for raising us up with you to share in your victory and share the news with the rest of the world. Use us to bring more and more people to that multitude of earnest hearts singing your praise. It's in your name that I pray. Amen. You are sent.